Living Local Carolina with Katie Turner. Local trends, shopping, dining, and more. This is Living Local Carolina.
Great to be here with you today and share something that is very important to us, and that's Project Golf. I'm Gary Shaw, and I want to share with you some enthusiasm I've got for the program since I was here with it when it started in 2018. We were a nonprofit given birth by our parent company, Golf Tourism Solutions, which has been driving golf in Myrtle Beach for 5 or 6 decades. And they looked up a couple years ago and said, we are bringing a lot of people into Myrtle Beach. We call ourselves the golf capital of the world. From the Rust Belt all the way up into New England, out west, people are coming to Myrtle Beach. But they said, just a minute, we've kind of ignored this exploding metropolis of Myrtle Beach of residents, locals. So they said, why don't we let's find somebody that can run this nonprofit. We want to bring the game to our disabled veterans, our underserved youth, and the beginners. So we'll grow the game, and we'll take the game to these golfers. We'll try to remove barriers that are in the way of their playing, and the biggest one was access and instruction. So we started with our beginners, and then we morphed into working with a disabled veteran under a program subsidized by the PGA of America called PGA Hope. Hope is an acronym standing for Helping Our Patriots Everywhere. I was asked to start it up because I somewhat fit the mold. I'm a veteran and a PGA member, and I served as the PGA's president for a term back in the 90s. So we got started off, and we found out the VA was very cooperative. They were pipelining all the veterans to us, and in no time at all, our classes became full. We can teach about 20, 22 veterans at a time, men and women, all with disabilities, some passive, some very visible. And we feel like we're doing some good, and we're getting these veterans back into society, and they're doing a good job of engaging with other veterans to play golf. And we're finding the same thing with the beginners. And we haven't quite developed a full-fledged junior program, but we know that's going to be the case, where we'll remove barriers to their getting into the game. And the PGA told us when we started PGA Hope, if you're anything like the other chapters around the country, you're going to save lives. And I thought to myself, as the executive director, that's a bit of a stretch. How do you save lives through golf? And after these 5 years now, Angel and I will agree that we are saving lives. We hear it from the veterans, we hear it from the veteran spouse, and we hear it from the veteran's family. So it's a great program. They're telling us how much at the end of the classes when they graduate after 6 weeks, what value it has to them, and that value is engagement with family and community. So we feel real good about it. And I would throw in on the statistics and metrics from the PGA of America is that there are about 160 chapters in the country, and the Carolinas leads the country in registrations and graduations, and Myrtle Beach leads the Carolinas. So we're real happy about the visibility we've received. And as a nonprofit, of course, our goal is to seek funding. So that's our next real initiative, is to turn up the heat on getting donations.
So as Gary was saying, the impact that we're making on our community is huge. We're creating a community of golfers. And our golfers are overcoming obstacles, improving their social, mental, and physical well-being. You know, with 22 veterans committing suicide each day, golf has changed their life, and in some cases, it's saved their lives. You know, some of them struggle 7 days a week, but for those 2 hours a day, they're coming out here and they're not thinking about those struggles. And because we're helping them with their abilities, and they're forgetting about their disabilities. And so if you guys would like to help us, please visit us at projectgolf.org and learn a little bit more about what we do and how you can support.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Welcome to Burgess Community Garden. This is a new concept for us that we just started last year. We have this beautiful land, 5 acres, and we happen to have an opportunity to indeed grow and develop and decide what it is we're going to do on this land. One of the things I've done for a long time is I've done outreach. And so not only am I part of the Unity Burgess community, but the outreach community also, is that I was listening to a program by the Boys and Girls Club of the Southern East region. And one of the organizations, I think in Alabama, indicated that they had a food bank and a community garden. So back in 2018, we had inherited this, and then last year I thought, oh, this will be wonderful because we'll be able to bring in the Burgess community, the surrounding community that was historically Black and now is very diverse, but also all the groups of people that we work with. We work with Help for Kids, and we've long worked and supported them, as well as the Boys and Girls Club of Myrtle Beach and Helping Hand and Family Justice. What a good opportunity to indeed start to use the land to indeed provide produce and vegetables to help all the community in terms of that, because as everyone knows, or many of us know, is that hunger is still a reality. What is it we could do to invest in the community? Bringing what it is we produce and having the community help us produce some of that, the local community help us in terms of feeding those that are in need. And that's individuals, that's communities, that's organizations. So as a result of that, Ken, who is my major master only gardener at this point in time, knew what to do in terms of building the garden. So these 2 gardens were produced as demonstration gardens, and they're primarily herbs and spices and some vegetables. And so we've grown from there. I had written a grant, Home Depot indeed responded to it, so we got a $3,200 grant indeed to build vegetable beds, and that's what we did. They came out and they built 12 beds for us so that we could indeed grow the produce that is needed and necessary and wanted by the community that I have indicated earlier.
Well, welcome back to Living Local Carolina. Today I'm joined by Quadre Stuckey. We're talking about beautiful, beautiful artwork with a rich cultural heritage. How are you doing?
I'm amazing. I'm blessed. Happy to be here. Thank you for having me today.
We're going to do a lot of fun stuff, but first I want to get to know you a little bit.
Okay.
I want you to kind of walk me through your creative process when it comes to this.
So when it comes to my creative process with the artwork, I like to visualize what I'm going to do first in my mind, and then I like to, draw it or sketch it on the canvas. And then once I sketch it on the canvas, I like to add that paint to bring it to life.
And you have quite a history.
Yes.
Why did you get into art in the first place?
I would say art is like my God-given talent. It wasn't something I had to try hard with. It was something that would naturally come to me that just kind of flows easy. So I wanted to use that and share my gift with the world.
I would say that when you look at your art, I was taking a look at your portfolio, and
Yes.
a lot of it is so striking.
Yes.
You have such a unique look.
Yes.
How would you describe your art, though?
I mean, I would describe my art as kind of like a mixture between like contemporary pop art and then low country Gullah lifestyle series. That's what I say, because that's our history and rich culture in Charleston, South Carolina, where I'm from. So it's about that Gullah lifestyle, maintaining the culture and the heritage. So I'm just telling the story through my artwork.
Why is that important to you?
I feel like it's important because if you don't tell your own story, somebody else will tell your story and control your narrative. So it's better for you to keep your own history and pass it down to the generations to come, like your grandkids, your great-grandkids, and your children, to let them know where they came from and what you did to make it here where you're at today.
And how does it feel whenever people see your art for the first time?
It feels amazing because, with artwork, it speaks to everybody different. You know what I'm saying? People get happy, people get excited, people get, filled with joy. So I mean, me inside, that's just a good heartwarming feeling that I feel every time that people see it, experience it, and then they just love it and fall in love with it.
And what would you say is the toughest part of the process for you?
The toughest part of the process was, I'd probably say, selling it, because, these are like my kids, and then somebody wants to buy it, you gotta let it go and then not look back. But, at the same time, I could just paint another one.
And speaking of, If someone is interested in purchasing your art or taking a look,
Yes.
how can they do that?
Well, they could go online to my website, www.quaddesigns.net, or they could go onto my nonprofit site, www.gullah-Geechee-Family-Foundation.com, purchase the artwork.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Quadre. I appreciate you visiting me today.
Definitely.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
This story is sponsored by Morris Law, LLC.
I always wanted to help people. I wanted to do something that would help folks make the choices that affected their everyday life. The main goal of Morris Law is to help people get their life back after an accident.
Typically, our clients are going through one of the worst times of their life. They've been injured through no fault of their own, through someone's negligence or carelessness. They're often hurting physically, hurting financially.
Just because you hire a lawyer or just because you have health insurance doesn't mean that you won't get medical bills associated with your accident. Why do I owe $4,000 to the hospital when my health insurance should have paid? How does it work with the hospital and all of these injuries and how much time they have to spend in the hospital? You have to tell them that everything is going to be okay, regardless of what happens with this ambulance bill, regardless of what happens with this hospital bill. It's all going to work out. As an attorney, you're not going to let those medical providers take all of their settlement money. You negotiate that for them. You're still going to get money in your pocket for your injuries. After an accident, one of the biggest problems clients face is getting the health care they need.
We want your entire focus to be on getting better. We want to take over not only the heavy lifting, but all the technical issues of trying to push your claims through. If it ends up in trial, making sure that all of that is taken care of so you can continue to focus on your treatment.
We have attorneys that I knew for the whole time I've been practicing law. Ian was my first friend as an attorney when I started practicing. Lee and I went to law school together. We really are all friends outside of this practice. We meet with our clients together, we try cases together, and so we are a small-knit group and we know our clients.
I was test driving a car and I'm coming up to the light and there's a car coming across over to another road. She didn't see me, I didn't see her, and we kind of collided. I was in a lot of pain. I couldn't really do anything. Bills was piling up. I didn't know what was going to happen. The girl of the car, she didn't have no insurance. She didn't have a license. I knew right away that I needed an attorney. Company that I was going to buy the car from, he referred me to Jeff. I called him and he said, hey, I was in an accident. Can you help me out? He told me that I was in good hands. I wouldn't have to worry about anything. And they kept in touch with me on everything. I never had to contact them, email them, call them, or anything. And I loved them for that. I felt like they were my family when I went there. They really showed me love.
What makes the Morris Law Firm unique is the collaboration that we have between our attorneys and our staff here. Jeff, Ian, and I are a team. We're bringing the big law firm feel to a small law firm.
You know, some clients will go to other firms and they only talk to paralegals, they only talk to staff. They've never once talked to an attorney. Our policy is that you're going to talk to an attorney on day one. Morris, his background comes with a strong drive. He understands the medical part more than anybody at this firm. Besides the attorneys, our staff is key. We design our firm so that each of the staff member has the same experience as we do.
At Morris Law, all 3 attorneys go on every file. Every attorney will be involved in your case, and if your case goes to trial, you will get every attorney at Morris Law at that trial.
Here at Morris Law, we want to get you more. We want to get you more in terms of service. We want to get you more in terms of legal representation. And we want to get you more in terms of your case value.
At Morris Law, we can't undo what happened, but we can help you get past it. We are going to help you.
This story is sponsored by Morris Law, LLC.
Don't forget to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. How to use the QR code. Just open the camera app on your smartphone, iPad, or tablet. Point your device at the QR code so the QR code appears on your screen. Your device will recognize the QR code and show you a notification. Click that notification and you'll come to our website. Living Local Carolina, weekday mornings at 9:30 on WBTW News 13.